Shadow Creek was the kind of place people visited to escape something. A breakup, a failure, a life that felt too heavy. But for most, the forested cabins in quiet lakeside air brought peace. For Lily Harper, it brought something else entirely. A nightmare that the town still refuses to speak about. In tonight's CrimeTale episode, we uncover the eerie disappearance that shocked Montana in 2018. A case with twisted timelines, conflicting witnesses, and evidence that appeared long after the truth was buried. This is the lost night at Shadow Creek. The Harper family had rented Cabin 7 at Shadow Creek Resort every summer for 10 years. But in July 2018, only Lily, the youngest daughter, made the trip. She had just graduated college with a degree in wildlife ecology. She wanted a break, nature, space, and according to her mother, she needed time away from her complicated relationship. Whatever that meant, Lily arrived at the resort on July 14th at 4:38 p.m. According to the cabin's digital lock records, Cabin 7 was one of the more isolated wooden homes, located near a cliff edge overlooking the lake, surrounded by tall pine trees that blocked most of the sunlight. The cabin was peaceful, but the woods behind it weren't. Visitors often said they heard footsteps at night, branches snapping, dark shapes shifting between the trees. Locals claimed it was wildlife, but after 2018, no one was so sure anymore. At 9:27 p.m., Lily called her best friend, Paige. Paige later told investigators that Lily sounded normal at first, excited. Even, she described the lake, the cabin, the trees, and the quiet. But at the 3-minute mark, Paige said Lily's voice changed. She lowered her tone and whispered, "Greater than Paige, there's someone outside." Paige thought she was joking, but Lily wasn't laughing. She said she saw a man standing near the tree line, not moving, not walking, just watching. Paige told her to lock the doors, call security, call the police, but Lily whispered, "Greater than, he's gone." He just stepped back into the dark. The call ended shortly after. It was the last time anyone heard her voice. The next morning, the resort staff noticed something strange. Cabin 7's front door was wide open. Lily's rental car was still parked outside. Her suitcase was on the floor, her shoes near the bed, her phone on the dining table, still charging. But Lily was gone. No struggle, no broken glass, no blood, nothing. The only unusual objects were a mug of tea on the porch railing, a single pine needle inside the mug, and a set of footprints leading toward the woods, but none leading back. The prints were identified as Lily's, but beside them was a second set of footprints, large, heavy, facing the cabin. And those prints didn't match any resort guest or staff. The sheriff's department launched a full-scale search. Dogs, drones, boats, volunteers, but they found nothing. It was as if the forest had swallowed her whole. 2 days into the search, a hiker reported something disturbing. He claimed he saw a man wandering near the lake around midnight on the night Lily disappeared. A tall man, broad shoulders, wearing a dark hooded jacket. The hiker said the man was muttering something like, "Greater than." She wouldn't listen. She kept walking. When the hiker approached, the man suddenly ran into the woods. Police searched the area but found no one. However, they did find something else, a torn piece of fabric, caught on a branch. Lab tests confirmed it belonged to a jacket, but not Lily's. It was from a men's waterproof coat, size large, the same kind worn by workers from a local construction company, a company Lily's ex-boyfriend, Mason Reed, worked for. Police questioned Mason. He said he hadn't seen Lily in 3 months, but text messages on Lily's phone said otherwise. A week before her trip, Mason texted, "Greater than, we need to talk. You can't just run off without giving me answers." Another message, and sent in Lily's drafts folder. Read, "Please stop coming to my apartment. I'm scared." These messages were concerning, but Mason had an alibi. Security camera footage from Billings, 2 hours away, showed him shopping at a grocery store the night Lily vanished. He also had a timestamp receipt. Police couldn't place him anywhere near Shadow Creek, but the jacket fragment, still unexplained. Mason admitted he owned one, just like that, but said he lost it months earlier. It was never recovered. On the 4th day of the investigation, a park ranger brought forward a new lead. That night, around 10 p.m., he said he saw a flashlight flickering near the old mining trail behind Shadow Creek. He assumed it was campers, but later, he remembered seeing something else, a second light, much dimmer, moving in the opposite direction. He now believed it was two people, one leading, one being followed. The ranger also reported hearing a scream, a short one, cut off abruptly. He radioed for backup immediately, but by the time officers arrived, the trail was silent. No lights, no footprints, no voices, just the sound of wind against the pines. Investigators discovered a narrow footpath hidden behind Cabin 7. It wasn't part of their sort's marked trails. It wasn't on the map, but it led deep into the forest, farther than most guests ever dared to go. Dogs were deployed again. One canine picked up Lily's scent, only to lose it abruptly near a pile of rocks. Under the rocks, officers found a broken phone screen, Lily's hair tie, and a small notebook. Inside the notebook were sketches, treescape shapes like outline as a figure in the woods, drawn over and over.
A tall silhouette, no face, just a shape. At the bottom of one sketch was a message: "He's been watching me since last night." The biggest break came from a guest who had been paddle boarding early that morning. His waterproof GoPro had been capturing continuous footage. He didn't think it mattered until investigators looked through it. At 6:12 a.m., his camera captured something eerie. Far across the lake near the cliff edge, a figure appeared for 2 seconds. A person, standing still, facing the water, wearing a dark jacket. But when digital analysts enhanced the footage, they found a second figure, kneeling, smaller, closer to the cliff edge. The smaller figure's outline matched Lily's height and hair. And then the footage glitched. Static blurred the next frames. When the image cleared, both figures were gone. 3 weeks after Lily vanished, a hardware store owner came forward. He recognized Lily from the missing posters. He claimed she came to his store the afternoon before she vanished. And she wasn't alone. He said a man was with her. Tall, dark jacket, baseball cap, stayed close to her. The owner said Lily looked uncomfortable, like she wanted to leave but couldn't. He remembered the man buying rope, a camping knife, a flashlight, and waterproof matches, all items that were later found missing from cabin 7. Police questioned him. "Did she say anything?" The owner replied, "Yeah," she said. "I don't want to go there." But the man told her, "It's just one night. After that, it's done." The owner assumed they were a couple, but investigators knew better. Detectives searched for the man described by the store owner. No one matched the description. No staff had seen him. No guests checked in with that appearance. But then they discovered something chilling. A maintenance worker named Elias Turner had quit the resort days earlier. He had no forwarding address, no digital footprint, no family contacts. But he did own a dark jacket, and he did have a history of restraining orders. One filed by a woman who claimed he followed her through the woods behind her home. Another from an ex-girlfriend who said he watched her through windows at night. Police put out a statewide search, but Elias Turner had simply vanished. Like Lily. 2 months later, extreme weather damaged cabin 7's flooring. When workers lifted the boards, they found something wedged beneath the wood. A journal. Lily's journal. The entry dated the night she disappeared read, "He's here. He followed me from the store. He keeps standing by the trees. I think he knows I'm alone. I don't know what he wants. I'm going to barricade the door. If I don't make it out, tell my mom I tried." The last sentence was scratched so hard the paper almost tore. "He's coming up the steps."
In early 2019, two teenagers exploring the forest found a hidden cave entrance near the cliffs. Inside were old sleeping bags, food wrappers, a lantern, a torn jacket sleeve, and a necklace with Lily's initials. Experts confirmed the necklace was hers. But the cave also had something else. A small drawing etched into the wall. A stick figure with long arms and big, hollow eyes. Beneath it were the words, "Greater than she tried to run." In 2021, a hunter's trail camera captured a man walking through the woods near Shadow Creek. He looked scruffy, thinner, older, but the jacket was the same one linked to the case. When investigators enhanced the image, they noticed something in the man's hand, a locket, the same one Lily's mother said she never took off. But when police searched the area, they found no one, just footprints, leading deeper into the forest, and then stopping abruptly at the cliff edge, as if the man had vanished into thin air. To this day, neither Lily Harper nor Elias Turner has ever been found. Shadow Creek Cabin 7 has been permanently closed to visitors. Locals say that on quiet nights, when the wind blows through the pines, you can hear someone walking between the trees, slow, careful, watching, and if you listen closely enough, you might hear a woman whisper, "Don't go into the woods." This was The Lost Night at Shadow Creek, a CrimeTale documentary.